Have you ever been out of position? All right, so for the past couple of weeks, about 3 weeks, my youngest son has been helping out. He's been like the assistant coach for a little league football team. So I've been going to these games, and one of the things that I've seen for the last 3 weeks is that some of the kids are out of position. And I know you're like, so what does that have to do with anything? Even in if you're just talking about little league football, if you're out of position, you can cause a penalty for your own team. So what happens? Like this morning, we were at the game, and they were yelling at kids like, "No, no, no! That's not your position. Go there. You're on the line. You're this. You're that." They were out of position, and they would get penalties, and it would stop the momentum. They would stop the drive. So what does that have to do with being a Christian? Because sometimes we're out of position. Honestly, we are. Everybody wants to be the quarterback or the main wide receiver or lead running back, y'all. This is from Remember the Titans. Everybody wants to be the center of attention. Even on defense, you want to be the outside linebacker that gets all the sacks. But the coaches are telling you that's not your position. So you'll be out of position where they've set you. It's for a specific purpose. Because it helps the team. And some of us are so hard-headed. We're so gung-ho about our gifts that we think we know better than God when he says that's not your position. Some of us want to be the pastor when we don't even study. We don't study the plays. We don't study the playbook. We don't do anything. Some of us want to be the lead singer and can't sing a note. We should be carrying water for people, but we want to be the main singer. Some of us want to have a title. I'm bishop or I'm apostle. This. That's not what you've been called to be. That's not your position. And sometimes we act out and we act up because we can't do what we want. We think, I'm gifted too. Yes, you are. But just like Little League in the NFL, sometimes when you don't fit the scheme of the present offense or defense, say for instance you're immensely talented, gifted, God is using you. God is speaking to you. But the place that you're at won't use you. Sometimes they will bench you, not because you've done anything wrong, but you don't fit their offense. You don't fit their defense. Some of us want to be the praise and worship leader and can't sing. But some of us can sing. Some of us are so gifted. You want to be the minister of music. Some of us are that way. And you can't understand why people mistreat you. So in the NFL, if the person that you have doesn't fit your scheme, you can trade them to another team. Or you can cut them. And then they can attach to another team. And some of us need to understand that. When we're being benched, that's not the time to pout. It's not. You can be benched and you can be cut from a team because you don't fit the offensive scheme or the defensive scheme of the team. And what does this mean for being a Christian? Sometimes they will say you don't fit the vision of the house. Okay. Behave yourself and move on. Don't worry about it. Don't try to seek revenge. In your behaving of yourself, God sees, because this is a test. God sees you. He understands what you're going through. And he will place you someplace else. What God called you to do isn't based upon who likes you, this group or that group. It's based upon your obedience to God's calling. And sometimes we have to leave a place that we are so used to, we're so familiar with, that we like the fans, we like the fanfare, we like everything about it. It's like moving to a new job. Sometimes you have to leave the city you're in to go where God called you to go. Your specific gift will be used in other places. Sometimes the way God uses you, preach like everybody else. You don't teach like everybody else. You go in depth. You do all these things. They might not be for the team you're with, the house that you're with. And I know people say, bloom where you're planted. That is true. But if you're at a position, if God is saying, this isn't where I want you, you've been here long enough, it's time for a trade. It's time for you to be cut. Because some of us won't leave, even when God is saying, it's time to go. You have to be cut. And when God places you in the place you're supposed to be in the offense you're supposed to be in the defense you're supposed to be in, to offer Christ in other places, to defend the faith, when God places you in that spot, you'll know it. You'll wonder why you didn't leave before. Why it took people cutting you from the team. That's my granddaughter. Why it takes you being cut from the team for you to move. Please don't be out of